Entering the British Museum, you'll see that it has galleries specifically to house the Parthenon sculptures. Visitors to the museum can compare the display of the sculptures between antiquity and now. For example, when you go into the gallery now, the first thing you encounter is the frieze along the walls at eye level. In antiquity, they were high up with a row of columns in front, obscuring them. On the original building, there were square blocks set high up and facing outwards. In contrast, today you need to go into the recesses at the end of the room to see these metopes, tucked away around the pediments. And the east pediment sculptures are on your right as you go in, the west ones on your left. The British Museum today has around half the Parthenon sculptures because they, for better or worse, were seized and brought to London. Back then, Greece and Athens were part of the Ottoman Empire. The British ambassador to the Ottoman administration was Lord Elgin, and he based himself in Athens. Noticing the sculptures, he busied himself gathering them up and brought them back here to London to keep. Now modern Greece wants them back. Room 18 in the British Museum is designed to be accessible for blind and partially sighted people with tactile objects that everyone can enjoy. In the middle of the room is a small 2-scale model, so 1 metre represents 50 metres of the original. All around the room are copies from the West frieze. These casts, made from pouring liquids into moulds, have been placed on the walls and you are allowed to touch them. At the end of the room, you can find a reconstruction of a corner of a pediment out of frieze and top of column. This is a mixture of copies and real fragments, and the monumentality of this display really brings home the sheer size of the original, its age, and how huge these columns were. Another point of comparison is that we think of these famous Greek sculptures as gleaming white marbles. But originally, they would have been painted different colours. So given that the frieze had a background colour like dark blue, the figures would have popped out much more. Looking up at it from the ground originally 12 metres above you, you would have been able to make out the figures, profiles, animals and objects because of this colour contrast.